Welcome back to Enigma Twisted Horror, and in this video we're going to dive into the twisted mind of one of the most iconic characters in the history of horror cinema. His name is Norman Bates from the Psycho franchise. Let's get into it. Today we're just going to focus on the very first film, Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, which was released in 1960. Although the other films in the franchise are worth mentioning, but I feel this one deserves its own video. Norman Bates was born into a troubled life. His mother, known as Norma Bates, was also a very disturbed woman. She was involved in a violent marriage and didn't really recover from the death of her husband, and she carried that with her through raising her son Norman. She kept him isolated from other children, fearing that they might lead him astray, and that he would learn better social skills and would eventually get out in the open world, instead of locked away and homeschooled in their old Victorian mansion. Being unable to escape the overbearing clutches of his controlling mother, it would lead to Norman being left isolated with very little contact with the world. Pretty obvious to say, his mother was trying to mold him into the image of her late husband, which left him scared and filled with paranoia. When Norma Bates became very ill, she was very dependent on the care of her son. Norman had devoted his life to her care, as any son should. Her death was a massive blow to Norman. The one constant in his life and the source of his torment was gone. He refused to accept that his mother was no longer alive in his own mind and delusion. He believed she was still alive, sitting at the window in the chair. This pushed his proceed into madness even more. In moments of extreme stress and being stuck in between reality and delusion, he became Mother himself. The split personality between him and his mother led to a series of brutal murders. Norman being completely unaware of the act that he committed, he would always clean up the crime scene and dispose of any evidence left behind. The first scene with Norman in the film, he comes across as your typical nice, friendly guy, and when he goes back to the house to prepare dinner for himself and Marion, we witness a conversation he has with his mother. It's obvious she is irate with him, wanting to have dinner with another woman. Little do we know that it's Norman talking to himself, a perfect showing in Norman's two personalities. In the scene when Lila goes down to the basement of the mansion, we see Norman come down dressed as his mother with a sadistic look on his face. Then Sam comes up behind and grabs him. You can see Norman's face contour into a massive pain as the wig falls off his head, and his body starts shutting down, almost like Sam is pulling him out of his mother's persona. At the end of the movie, a psychiatrist is giving a speech basically saying that Norman is no longer here. He is now trapped in the prison of his own mind. And in the scene we are given more reassurance that Norman is to believe that he is a weak man and committed terrible crimes and blamed his mother for it. It goes to show that Norman is now living with the guilt of everything that he had done. I guess he only has himself to blame. Despite the troubles he went through in his upbringing, committing murders is never the answer. Norman Bates clearly was a psycho. So that's it. In my opinion, Psycho is a pretty good classic horror film. Not one of my personal favorites, but I have to give credit where it's due. Anthony Perkins did a great job in portraying this character. A great actor indeed. Let me know in the comments section below what your opinion is on this film, and let me know which horror character you would like me to do next. I just wanted to say thank you all for watching, and if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to show some love, and please like and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you all in the next video.